Hi, this is Maury Moreland Morrison, here to tell you Geico has more than just great savings. Much more. Geico's been around for more than 75 years, back when they were using Morse code. Sorry, that's just my sense of humor. What's more, with Geico you get 24/7 access to licensed agents on the app, online, or over the phone, so you can talk to them at night or in the morning. So forevermore, just know that no other auto insurer has more than Geico. More power to you. Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Blog Talk Radio.
I've been to hell and back and went back to hell. Been to jail, came home and went back to jail. Made sales, got a job, went back to sales. Still smart enough to know that I ain't actually failed. Progress stagnant cause you ain't following up. One thing about the streets, they'll swallow you up. Girl all on your line cause you don't holler enough. Got haters on your line trying to holler you up. Tables turned on the nigga cause I been up. Flashbacks keep seeing Zay get hit up. Ain't no winners in this game, why I keep gambling. Move Bruce Willis, last man standing, wish I had another litter. All of my dogs gone, reminisce about the old days, knowing they long gone. Them streets cold, keep me a Glock and some long johns. Before I go to sleep at night, I'm praying to Allah. Lead a drive through and get killed in the drive-by. Nothing far-fetched when you living on my side. Barely survive these conditions I'm living in. You in the red zone soon as you turn on Livingston. Sat back and watched niggas die over dividends. Blood dripping on his double soles, the cinnamons. One thing about me, they know I'm riding like carnivals. Live by the code and your death will be honorable. Might know of me, but you don't know me. I'm blowing good gas and you know that it's OG. Ride through the harbor, listening to the world. Drum on the chop, give them shots until he Earl. The streets like laundry, the way these niggas folding. You doing something right if you still out here holding. My son mother used to tell me that I drink too much, and sometimes I be thinking that I think too much. Wish I ain't have to leave about this house with this armor, but that's the way it is when you trying to calm her. The hood used to be live, now nothing but silence. Used to be love, now it's nothing but violence. Rob used to tell me stay down and stay true. Stay away from fake ass niggas, stay you. I show love when they show me hate. Told me stay up out the streets, but they told me late. Phone might be tapped, nigga, watch what you say. Seen shit get real when feds came and got Tay. I be paranoid, hard for me to sleep at night. Got it on me just in case they try to creep tonight. For real.
Hello to all the listeners out there, and welcome to this Sunday's edition of the Too Much Show on November 5th of 2017. And I am your host, MT, and with me is my co-host,
Mr. Jones, a.k.a. Sam Jones, and Mr. Come First, because you got to respect me. And we live today. It's a beautiful day today.
It definitely is a beautiful day. Can't say that for the weather out here in Philly, though. It's very gloomy. But, hey, as you all know, thank you all for tuning in on this morning. And this is Real Talk by Real People. And here on the Too Much Show, it is Facts Over Opinions.
Always.
That's right. So we got a jam-packed show for you all today. We're going to be talking about Ezekiel Elliott, or Zeke Elliott, whatever you want to call him. Him being granted another temporary stay. Breaking news, Peyton Manning and sexual assault. We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be weighing in on, yes,
it's
we're also going to be
epidemic.
It definitely is. Sexual assault allegations coming out against Peyton Manning from when he was back at the University of Tennessee. We're also going to be talking about Kevin Spacey and his sexual assault allegations. Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, my God.
NBA
You know
players.
why I'm mad about it? My bad. You know why I'm mad about Kevin Spacey? Because there's no more House of Cards. That was a great show.
Yeah, I never really got into that show, but I heard it was great.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent show. But yeah, my bad. Continue.
It's up. All right. Now we're going to be talking about Stephen A. Smith and his comments on NBA players wearing hoodies on the bench. And also, for those of you all that don't know, in just 2 days, so on Tuesday, ESPN, arguably the best 30 for 30 of all time, and I haven't even seen it yet, will be on no other than the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And we can't wait.
I can't wait.
That's right. So we will be previewing that episode, talk about some of the things to expect on this, especially with the life of Ric Flair. So let's get into it first. So Ezekiel Elliott, Sam, granted another stay. So he will be on the field Sunday. Do you think Zeke will help the Cowboys win? Well, I'm sorry, that's a bad question to ask. I'll ask you this. Do you think the Cowboys are going to win today with Zeke being on the field?
Yes, and this is why. Simply because the Chiefs is ranked 30th in the league in yards allowed. Like, it's one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and they're 29th against the run. So, like, it's give me. It's a script for Zeke to have another 100-plus yard day like he's been having the past few weeks after the bye here. So, long as this is what I want to see, though. I want to see him get at least 20 to 25 carries today. That'll make me happy.
Well, he got 33 last week against Washington, so I feel like
but that was the first. You know, I mean, we know Jason Garrett likes to limit him in the second half as far as Russia. I want to see him pound the rock all day. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, but here's what you got to think about, too. And I get what you're saying about you want to see him pound the rock all day with Zeke. But the thing is, they're trying to prepare for if Zeke isn't there. And
I agree.
He got 26 rushes against the 49ers. So I feel like that they had the formula. They know now to get Zeke the ball at least 20 to 25 times, whether if it's mixing it up in the rush and the pass. You know, Zeke got 26 attempts versus the 49ers, as well as caught a long pass out the backfield. So he got 27 touches that game. And then in the following week versus the Redskins, Zeke turned around. He got 30 and one catch from the backfield. So he got 34 touches. So they're definitely including him in the offense a lot.
Yeah. And the results is 33 points and 40 points. So it works. And, I mean, Prescott, we do, like, one thing about the suspension that I could see, like, glass half full is we finally get to see what Prescott's really about. Is he going to be the man or is he going to be a game manager? Is he going to be, you know what I mean, a great player, or is he just going to be an Alex Smith per se?
I mean, well, there's nothing wrong with being an Alex Smith. I mean, Alex Smith has 16 touchdowns, 0 interceptions this season, and he hasn't been the reason why the Chiefs have lost the game.
No, not at all. Yeah, and he's having probably the best season of his career, but over his career, he's widely known as a game manager, and Dak has somewhat of that same formula. He just limit mistakes, get the easy read, but, you know what I mean, he won't go for that long ball. He's not that risky of a player. Yes, he throws a few long balls, but what is the success rate of his long ball?
Yeah, but here's what but let's look at Troy Aikman. And Troy Aikman will tell you, hey, I was basically a game manager. Why? Because he had Emmitt Smith, and the Cowboys had a decent defense, and they had a defense that was able to force turnovers. So it's nothing wrong with being a game manager. I don't want Dak to throw the ball 40, 45 times a game and try to go for 400 yards. I don't want that. But you want him to have the ability to, especially in the playoffs when it matters, though. True, but what I'll say is this, too. I mean, other than this crazy show that we saw this past Super Bowl with Atlanta and New England, what are the two things that people always say that you need to get to the Super Bowl? And that's a good run game and a great defense. That's it. If you have those two things, those are the formula. You can win a Super Bowl with a Trent Dilfer. You could possibly win it with the Rex Grossman, because remember, the Bears made it. But all they couldn't beat Peyton Manning, even though that their defense did pretty decent. They couldn't get the run game going in that game versus the Colts. So,
and the Colts defense was better too. Let's not forget that. Bob Sanders was on point that game.
Absolutely. Dwight Freeney. I mean, you had some studs on there.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's
Mathis,
all you. Yeah, and Peyton Manning didn't have great numbers that Super Bowl. I think he only threw for about 225 that Super Bowl.
He's probably the worst Super Bowl MVP of all time. Let's keep it real. I was like,
I don't know.
Not
I would say maybe Terry
Bob
Bradshaw.
Sanders deserved that.
Yeah.
Bradshaw?
Yeah.
I think Peyton might be a little worse. That's a debate on his own. We got to do that one day. We'll do that for the Super Bowl preview.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. So, do you think, because now Zeke, this upcoming week, he's going up against a panel where there's going to be 3 judges on the panel, and they're going to hear his appeal so he can basically, if he gets this approved, if he gets 2-1 on this, he will be eligible to play for the entire season. So my question is, do you think that he'll end up playing for the rest of the season?
I mean, I'm going to stick with what I said at the beginning of the season. This process is going to take probably till the end of the season. So it's a good possibility. But at the same time, my doubts come in because they've been so persistent. I've never seen the NFL chase a man down like this. They ain't even treat Pac-Man Jones this bad. Like, seriously, every time Fowler appeal, they come right back behind him. Let's get him. I mean, it's a lot worse issues than this, but this is one of the reasons. It's one of the many reasons, though.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that. But, I mean, here's the thing, though, and, let's talk about it. So, first of all, I work with a bunch of Philly fans, and what I hear all the time is, oh, well, Zeke, he just needs to shut up. He needs to take these games. All he's doing is just hurting y'all. He needs to just move on. And I told him, at the end of the day, when we look at Zeke and what's at stake here, a man's reputation is on the line. And everybody keeps saying, well, it's with Brady, Brady ultimately gave up. He didn't take it to Supreme Court. I said, yeah, it's because it was deflating footballs. Okay? Anybody can recover from deflating footballs. It's 3 things that a man never wants to be labeled as, especially wrongfully labeled. And that's because it will follow you around the rest of your life. 1 is a rapist.
Yes.
Number 2 is a pedophile or child molester. And number 3 is a woman beater.
Yes. Totally agree.
If somebody's a thief, you can shake that off. Okay, yeah, I made a mistake. I shoplifted back when I was in college. Oh, I didn't have any money. You can get past that. People forget about stuff. Even with murder, if it was in a matter of self-defense, guess what? People will forget about that. So at the end of the day, this man's reputation is on the line. And what Zeke is basically saying is, hey, I may be a lot of things. You can call me, a fighter, because I got into a bar fight incident. You can call me, aggressive. You can call me whatever it is that you want. Punk. You can call me different for liking to wear a half shirt and have my stomach out. You can call me whatever you want. You can call me a bonehead. You can call me a musclehead. But you're not going to call me an abuser because that's what I am not. I do not abuse women. And what you all have to understand is with something like that, life after football is going to be difficult for him. He's going to have a hard time getting a job at on CBS or Fox Sports or ESPN as an analyst or a commentator because of having that domestic violence charge. He will forever have that hanging over his head. And in a world and society today where and I'm just going to take it there, where I feel like women, and specifically white women, they use their white privilege a lot of the times when they don't get their way. I'm sorry, I have to stand up And just from reading all the evidence, I'm sorry, I have to take his side on this. And my thing is, for him to be fighting the way that he did, I truly believe that he didn't do this. Now, if it comes out later that he did it, I will retract my statement. I will apologize. And what I'll let everyone know right now who's listening is in no way, shape, or form do I condone domestic violence. We don't condone it here at all on the Too Much Show. If you are a domestic abuser, you are known as a dirtbag to us. As people like Greg Hardy, Ray Rice, to me, he's getting exactly what he deserves. People say, yeah, well, they made up and they got married. Yeah, but what he did to that woman, I'm glad he didn't really see another opportunity in the NFL because that was egregious. But when we have someone, and we've seen this classic case, and women, you all know this, you may not be this specifically, but you have friends and stuff that can be vindictive and manipulative, and when they don't get their way, they'll stop at nothing to get back at someone. Look at how many women have children with the man, and then when the man say, you know what, I don't want to be with you anymore, they keep the child away from the parent. They keep the child away from the father. And then they take the father to court for child support. Oh, I want $700 a month. Oh, I want $1,000 a month. And no, he don't need to see his child. I need sole custody of the child, and I'll let him see the child when I feel like it. All because he didn't want to be with them. And that's all this is. Another classic case of this girl thought that she had a meal ticket. And when Zeke said, nah, I'm young. I'm not like these other fairy tale or storybook people from college that married their college sweethearts and, they get married and then they go on this journey together in the NFL or professional sports, whatever they may have. He said, no, I want to go out and I want to have fun. But I hope Zeke going on in this, I hope he's learning the lessons. And when he does, or if he does come out victorious, then I hope he learns his lesson and moves a hell of a lot more careful. Because I've told you all this, and I know, Sam, you posted this on the Facebook page this week. Is he a victim of overcorrection? Absolutely. The NFL is in a PR nightmare right now, specifically when it comes to domestic violence. That's why kicker Josh Brown, they suspended him one game after he admitted to what he did. And then once they received all this flack of, well, you all are doing this to Zeke, what about Josh Brown? Then they hand him a 4-game suspension. Well, guess what? Josh Brown isn't signed to anyone, and he probably won't get another job in the NFL. So who the hell cares? And he was damn near 40 years old, so he's at the end of his career anyway. So what does that even matter? You lied about saying that you saw the Ray Rice tape, knowing that you didn't, and so you give Ray Rice 2 games. Then once the tape gets released a few days after, oh, well, we're going to give him 4 games. Like, come on. The only one that they got right was the Greg Hardy thing, and that's because we all knew Greg Hardy did it because he lost civilly, and then he paid the girl extra not to show up in court for the criminal case so he wouldn't have to serve any jail time. But again, a 22-year-old man's reputation is on the line because of a potential bitter woman. And like I said, I'm riding with Zeke this whole way. People say, well, if you weren't a Cowboys fan and if he wasn't on your fantasy team, you wouldn't care as much. Yes, I would. If he was on a very small market team, would it be this magnified on this show? No, but he's on a big market team. If he was on the Patriots, if he was on the Falcons, if he was on the Green Bay Packers, and I dug into this story and we had to talk about it on the Too Much Show, and the facts are the same and it's the exact same situation, I'm sorry. I would have to ride with that player.
I agree with everything you said. It's just we don't know is the NFL hiding something, or is this really a case of overcorrection? It only could be one or the other. Because for them to pursue him this hard, what is it that they really know? Because they're not really being really transparent per se towards the whole situation in general. But what makes me upset about the whole thing is the man is fighting for his reputation to not be a woman beater. Why can't everyone respect that?
Yeah.
Like, this is beyond the NFL. This is beyond being a Dallas Cowboy fan. This is beyond the product. This is a man fighting for his future. That's a heck of a label to overcome. I mean, it's possible. Ray Lewis got over a double murder charge and all that, so it's possible.
But it's something completely different when we talking about double murder versus like woman beating. Like you're talking about, even with Ray Lewis found a way to bounce back. He was on commercials. He's a sports analyst and everything now.
But he was already established too when that happened. That's the thing. He was already pretty much entering his prime. But Zeke just starting, like, he on the top of his game. Imagine if this happened. This might crush his psyche. He might not bounce back. So I understand what you're saying as far as that. But, I mean, it's just a sad situation. It's been so long. It's exhausting. I know it's exhausting in his mind because it's exhausting for us to talk about it. Because this is one of the – we talked about this topic literally on our first show, and we're still talking about it today. So that shows you how long this has been dragged out. Something needs to happen soon. It really does. For the sake of Zeke's sanity, you know, because the longer this goes on, that's the more it plays on the psyche. I just think finally during the bye week, he had time to chill out and really just come to peace with everything and went to work.
Yeah.
But
at the end.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to add, go ahead, finish your thought, because I'm going to wrap things up.
Yeah, because I was about to say, at the end of the day, you know, I know this is weighing in on him because you can see him was played the first couple of weeks in the season before the bye week.
I mean, and with social...
No, go ahead.
Now, I was just going to say two things. So, number one, with social media, you all, and, I mean, I can just imagine, I'm sure he's cut off his mentions on, you know, Twitter and whatever else in his comments. I'm sure he's cut those things off because just as many people is standing behind him and wishing him the best, I'm sure it's plenty of people that's woman beater, you know, domestic abuser, calling him whatever. And take Kobe Bryant, for instance. Like, I remember saying, we talked about it a few years after it happened, and we was like, hey, who got the best PR out there? It's Kobe. Because it takes a while. Like when Kobe was accused of rape, like eventually he was found not guilty, like he lost a lot of endorsement deals. The only people that stuck by Kobe was Nike. And even then in his commercials, when it came to showing off his shoes, you would hear a lot of Kobe's voice, but you wouldn't, they may show you some game footage of Kobe, but you wouldn't necessarily see like Kobe, like how a normal endorsement commercial is. You would not, it took Kobe a while to bounce back. And with a young man like this, who's still trying to find his way in life because he's only 22 years old, and in the NFL, he was the league leading rusher last week, and he's making good strides. But like you said, it was his play in the beginning, and now I think he's finally starting to find his groove because he's feeling like, you know what, I'm getting some type of headway in the legal system. You know what I mean? Like, we're able to file these appeals. People are hearing what's going on. I mean, and just to piggyback off of your comment, I don't think it's that the NFL knows, but I feel like they know that it's more likely than not that he didn't do it. But again, they have to save face because they're going to lose sponsors if they keep standing behind this. If they keep standing behind people who are actually doing domestic violence and not giving them any punishment, it's definitely going to look bad on them.
Yeah, you know, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks, you know.
Yeah, but I know what's going to happen today. Zeke going to be feasting on that Kansas City defense. And I'll make my bold prediction. Well, I'll make my score prediction once we get to the pick'ems, because I was pretty close in what I said with the Redskins game when I said 30-17 and the score ended up being 33-19. I knew it wasn't going to be a close game. Deadskins didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, I mean, they had unfortunate circumstances, but yeah. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and recap the game. It was 33-19. You know, how about them Cowboys? They did win this week, and I'll say a few things for the Redskins and the reason why they lost. One thing is, when you have a man that throw 40 times in the rain and only one starter of their line is playing because the rest of them is injured, more than likely you're going to lose that game. Also, who is there, like I asked again, who is the number one receiver of the Washington Redskins? I'll wait. I ask every Redskins fan in the country who's listening right now, who is your number one receiver? Seriously. Because all of them garbage right now. And that's part of the reason why they lost. And also, I mean, Zeke really ran for 200-plus yards. We played a sloppy game. Let's not get it wrong. We had a lot of holding penalties that actually took back touchdowns. Zeke ran like a 40-yard touchdown or something, and it got taken back because of a holding penalty by Tyron Smith. He had 3 of them, by the way, and it was a pretty sloppy game, but we still won. Huh?
He's the new Doug Free.
Shout out to Doug Free, though, wherever you're doing, chilling out there. But it was, at the end of the day, you know what I mean, we just outplayed them. And we took advantage of all their injuries. They got so many injuries. They banged up right now.
All right, so after we get finished having our pity party for the Redskins, we can go ahead and move to all the Week 8 NFL action. A lot of moves being made during the trade deadline. I know Jay Ajayi is now with the Philadelphia Eagles, and everybody, Super Bowl. We've seen this narrative before when they went and got DeMarco Murray because the Cowboys decided that they didn't want to re-sign him.
Doug Peterson is the coach now, so it's a little bit different. Remember, they had Chip Kelly, one of the worst coaches in NFL history to me.
True, but still, we've seen this narrative before. And that doesn't make me any more confident. Yeah. Who else? Who else made some moves? The Bills ended up getting who did they
got Kelvin Benjamin for free.
Yeah. They got Kelvin Benjamin for free. So it was some
pretty much a 4th round pick. Come on.
Yeah, it was like a 4th round pick. So it was some trades that went on. San Fran had agreed to San Fran got Jimmy Garoppolo, which was good.
No, what they gave up for Jimmy Garoppolo to the New England Patriots.
Oh, yeah, they gave up their 2nd round pick. So New England, the rich get richer.
They gave a Hall of Famer. So
basically,
the way they draft, they gave him a Hall of Famer, pretty much.
They definitely did. And then Cleveland Browns, y'all had one job, man. Y'all agreed on a trade to get, I can't remember who it was. But
I think it was Garoppolo.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Garoppolo because the 49ers ended up trading for him. It was somebody else. It was another backup quarterback. Was it from Denver? I can't remember. I need to look into it. But these idiots didn't get the trade in time. So they agreed, and then they didn't get the trade into the front office in time. Like, how? Like, this is why they continue to be the worst.
They're cursed.
Yeah, they're cursed. Like,
they were franchise in sports, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're garbage. But yeah, let's do a quick recap. Miami stinks, and now they don't got their top running back, 40-0. Ravens went to work. Just go ahead and knock that out. Niners is still winless, 33-10. The Eagles went to work. You know. Cowboys look great, as we just recapped, 33-19. Falcons barely beating the Jets. Like, I apologize to all you fans out there in Jetland. Y'all not there to take this year. They're fighting. They're fighting.
They're not going down. They're not going down quietly.
And Raiders, are y'all back to what y'all used to be, or what y'all usually are, or are y'all going to be these Super Bowl contenders that got claimed to be? Because I kind of got whipped by the Bills, 34-14. That was not a good look. And like I told you last week, Mike, Jamie Winston is not healthy because they only put up 3 points.
Yeah, but he's a little bit healthier this week than he was last week, so he'll be all right.
Yeah. And the game of the week by far, man, Texans and Seahawks. Yeah. That was an amazing game. Fireworks everywhere. Like, Russell is showing why he's the man. I mean, he going to win that locker room back to his place. I see it. If he keep playing like this, he going to win that locker room back. Because even Sherman was like, we needed you. You saved us. And Deshaun Watson, man, dropping 38. That was amazing. Going to work.
Yeah, on a good Seattle defense, too.
Yes, but we're not going to be able to see it no more this week because he got hurt in practice, torn ACL, out for the season. Man, so, that's sad.
I know. So another key injury. We know Derek Carr broke his back, and he's back, but he's not 100% healthy. We know, like, Leonard Fournette is banged up. Aaron Rodgers is out for the season. Sam.
Odell Beckham's out.
Odell Beckham is out. I mean, this has just been a nightmare for injuries so far this year. But before we do that, let's go ahead. I know you did it on the Facebook page, but let's go ahead and quickly recap the Week 8 pick'ems as well.
All right, Week 8 pick'ems. Another tie this week. Let me just break down all the scores this week. First lady of the pick'ems, Yolanda, she went 10-2 this week. Great week for her. Probably the best week she had this season. Russell went 7-5. Can't pick against the boys, man. Cal went 9-3. Aaron went 9-3. Mike Sir, you went 8-4, and I went 10-2 as well to tie it this weekend. We still got a lot of people at only 1 week. Somebody got to break the mold. Somebody got to win soon. And like I said last week, the week of Thanksgiving, we will announce the tiebreaker if we have one at the end of the season.
Oh, we have to.
Yep.
All right. So we just named all of those injuries, Sam. We have the NFL protest going on. I mean, give your thoughts on this NFL season and what you think of it.
It's a terrible season all around, on and off the field. You're having bad play by the defenses. You have great franchises having bad seasons. You have possibly the NFL MVP and the Rookie of the Year both out for the season. Also, almost every commercial that an NFL player is in, that player is either injured or having an off season. It's terrible around the board, I'll say. But only thing encouraging about it is it's a very even, competitive season. I think anybody can win the Super Bowl, just like I think almost anybody can win the MVP at this point. It's crazy. But, I mean, even PR, it's one of the worst seasons ever in PR. We're talking about the protesters. We're talking about inmates running to prison. We're talking about pizza companies losing $7 million in one day and try to blame it on the protest. We're talking about
$70 million. 70.
Oh, $70 million.
His net worth went down by $70 million when he tried to call out the NFL on their protest, saying that that's the reason why Papa John's isn't having good business. But I'll get into why Papa John's isn't having good business. But go ahead.
Yeah, I like to get into that as well, because, yeah. Also, it's terrible. Like, the Giants is usually a decent franchise for the NFL. They're not competitive. They're supposed to be Super Bowl favorites. Even though they're in our division, I shouldn't care. But, man, the Niners are winless. We got 2 winless teams right now. We might have 2 teams, possibly, if they don't play each other, go 0-16, it looks like. It's a horrible season, man. And the great Aaron Rodgers is not playing. It's just bad for football when one of the greatest talents of all time is not there due to injury and not retirement. Because let's be honest, Brett Hundley is not the answer. I'm going to keep saying it, and I'll repeat, Brett Hundley is not the answer. But anyway, that's how I feel about the season. It's a terrible season, but we still watch it because we love the game. We fans of the game. And I'll be honest with you, baseball had the incredible playoffs, and it took my attention away from football for a little while. And the NBA is having a pretty decent start as well. Because I'm shocked. 7-2 for Kyrie. Go Celtics. But go ahead for you.
I mean, it's definitely a tough season for the NFL, but with the anthem protest, like just about everything that's going on in the NFL off the field is something that needs to be done and needs to be addressed. When you have a player that's being whiteballed and he's not allowed to play in the NFL because of him standing up for social injustices, and he's using his First Amendment right, yeah, it needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
And I know people are tired of hearing about the legal battle with Zeke, but again, I tell you again, this is something that has to be done because a man's reputation is on the line. And what this season did, especially with the president being so involved in the NFL, you know what it also gave players a snapshot of? It opened up their eyes because they may have been thinking this already, but this was confirmation for them to hear what some of these owners are saying. Can't let the inmates run the prison. Jerry Jones is trying to be a dictator, saying that, hey, this anybody who kneels during the anthem and disrespects the anthem will not play. And Donald Trump turned around and stabbed Jerry Jones in the back and snitched about the conversation that they had on the phone. So now I think when the new collective bargaining agreement comes up, yeah, the players are going to go on strike, and it's going to be some things that are changed. So they are viewed more as partners versus boss and employees that basically, hey, go out there, put on a uniform and do your job and go sell out them damn concession stands and them jerseys and those seats. So it's one of those, I call this the year of exposure for the NFL because a lot of things are being brought to the forefront. That's just like we see that the NFL, they don't know how to hand down correct discipline because, again, with the Ezekiel Elliott situation, you have 2 police jurisdictions that found this guy not guilty, found the alleged victim not credible, but yet Roger Goodell is still going to take it upon himself to do what he wants. So now the NFLPA is probably going to bargain for an independent panel of people now to start judging these things and not make Roger Goodell judge, jury, and executioner. And I know we talked about it on last month, Sam. Not last month, last week's show, when you said, hey, I thought they already agreed to an extension. No, they were very close to agreeing with an extension. But now, due to all of these things, there are some owners that are backing out and have not agreed upon the 4-year extension yet for Roger Goodell.
Jerry, he crossed the wrong person. Jerry about to ruin that. Jerry about to get him out of there.
I was about to say
somebody new soon. I think Jerry got enough power to get him out of there and influence the other owners. You see what happened. He wanted a team in L.A., and what the Rams do? They went to L.A.
Yeah.
They don't even own the team. They don't got nothing to do with the Rams. They went to L.A., pretty much. Yeah. He supported the Raiders going to Vegas. Look where they come into 2020. They coming here to Vegas, where I'm at. So. Crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when you think about it, and I get what you're saying, the injuries, unfortunately, is a part of football. To me, that is one of the things.
But like every star, though?
I know, but hold on. But you can't. I mean, it's just honestly, it's just freakish accidents because Roger Goodell has worked hard over the past few years to ensure that this game is safer. And the reason why you have such a pass dominant and offensive dominant league now is because defenders can't lay the licks that they want on these players. Now, there are some that say, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to take the penalty or I'm going to take the fine. Who cares? $35,000. I'm going to be like Randy Moss. I'm paying it in straight cash because I'm going to take this guy's head off. So we're getting that this year where defenders are laying those licks on people. When you look at the hit on Joe Flacco and Kiko Alonso not being suspended. So what this is telling defenses, okay, we can get back to playing the way that we used to play now. All the hoopla about player safety is it's taking a step back versus a step forward. Concussion protocol is at an all-time high, and I like that. But the injuries that are happening, but I feel like, honestly, teams are getting hotter at the right time. And if the Eagles lose today and the Cowboys win, the NFC East is going to be a very exciting division. The AFC East is a very exciting division right now because
everything is close to competitive. I agree.
And that's but here's the thing, and I know how we talked about, like defense are getting scored on, but it's making it definitely more for a competitive league because I remember, Sam, and I know you remember this, by week 13, week 14, you pretty much knew who was winning every division except for maybe like two. Like and the reason why the people love the NFC East so much is because you used to have every year 2 to 3 competitive teams, and they would beat the heck out of each other until the last game of the season, one of them faced off, and then that would decide who was getting to the playoffs. But now it's a lot more competitive divisions, and I think that's better for football. But is this a?
But at the same time.
But is it a great
so
season?
Many people hurt. No, not by far.
Yeah, no, because I'm not with Tom Savage, and you can pretty much guess what my bum bowl of the week is going to be today. We can talk about it once we get to the pick'ems, which we're about to get into. But I mean, NFL midseason recap. When we look at two teams, the best team in the AFC, New England Patriots, which we already knew. But the best team in the NFC, record-wise, is the Philadelphia Eagles. But who do I feel is truly the best team in the NFC? I got to say it's the Seattle Seahawks. They are the most complete team in the NFC. And then I can give it to Philly. And then third, I can say Dallas until Dallas kicks it into another gear and dethrones Philly. But for right now, my best teams in the NFC, hands down, are...
You don't got the Rams in the top 3?
No, I'm still not sold on them yet. I'm sorry. I'm not sold on them. And I have Pittsburgh in my number 2 spot for the AFC.
Really?
Yeah. I got them over Kansas City. Kansas City is they're not who they say they are or who they portrayed themselves to be. They're not.
Pittsburgh's struggling. I mean, they're still winning, but they're struggling to win. They're struggling to win games.
It doesn't matter. Philly struggled to win a couple games. Like, I mean, come on, let's be real.
People not happy.
But here's the thing. And this is when you talk about a championship type team because, that team isn't happy, but they're still winning games. Just like the Seattle Seahawks. There was some animosity in the locker room, like you said, going into the season with Russell Wilson and that defense. But now what's happening? Winning cures all for the moment. They're coming together.
Yeah, but it's only week 9. We'll see by the end of the season. But
all right, so let's get into the week 9 pick'em, sir, and who you got. So let's get it started with the so we didn't do Thursday night game. I really didn't care about that game anyway, the Bills and the Jets. But shout out to the Bills for winning that game.
Jets won.
Oh, the Jets won that game. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
34,
okay, well.
34-21.
Oh, well, shout out to the Jets. I stand corrected. Panthers or the Falcons, who you got?
Panthers.
Panthers. Okay, well. 34-21. Oh, well, shout out to the Jets. I stand corrected. Panthers or the Falcons, who you got? Panthers.
Carolina.
Yeah, I'm taking Cam Newton as well. This is Cam Newton opportunity. They won last week after they bounced back after losing to Chicago, and I feel like this is their time to make a little headway, going somewhat of a streak. So I'm looking for Carolina to win this game.
And I repeat, and I'm telling you again, what's it again, Mike? Jameis is not healthy. That's why I don't think Jameis is healthy. Well, what's the next game?
All right. Jaguars and the Bengals.
Give me. Man, that's a hard game. They're both mediocre. So, give me Cincy.
All right. I'm actually going to take the Jaguars. Jaguars got the number one scoring defense in the league.
Yes.
Cincinnati has struggled to put up points this season, and I think that they struggle against the Jaguars, and I'm taking the Jags. Rams or the Giants?
Rams.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams as well, just for the simple fact of it'll be too much offensive power that the Rams will have.
Yeah, Todd Gurley going to have a good game.
Yeah, he definitely will. Excuse me. He definitely will. Broncos or the Eagles? Who you got?
Denver.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take Denver as well. They took out Trevor Siemian. They put in Brock Osweiler. No, I didn't pronounce his name incorrectly. That's just what he is. And I think he could throw for at least 250, and the Denver defense can shut down the Eagles. Like I told y'all, it's nasty out here in Philly. So the aerial attack that y'all think is going to happen is not going to. And Jay Ajayi won't be. Yeah, it's a no-fly zone. Jay Ajayi is not going to be 100% ready because he's only got about 10 to 15 plays that he's learned so far in that offense. So I'm looking for a game. Colts or the Texans. This is the bum bowl of the week. Don't go in late for this. You don't need to DVR it. Hell, you don't even need to watch it. You can.
I just think that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's got my bad. The bum bowl, yeah, it is the bum bowl of the week by far. But who started for Houston? Tom Savage? Is it Tom Savage?
Yeah, it's Tom Savage.
I think he actually gonna pull it out. And the coach is that bad. And we need to start calling out the coach too as a bad franchise. They've been bad for a long time. You know why they've been considered as great as one point? Because Peyton Manning is a once-in-a-lifetime talent.
True.
Peyton Manning saved that franchise. When Peyton Manning was even there, they had all-time worst defense at one point.
Yep.
And then when they found somebody in Bob Sanders, which was a one-man defense pretty much at one point, he couldn't stay healthy. And Peyton Manning mashed that garbage all this time. And then Andrew Luck came. He looked good his first two seasons. Now he can't stay healthy. And now you're really starting to see the Colts for who they were all of this time. They're a bad franchise for real. Give me Houston.
All right. I'm going to take the Colts just for the Colts have an established running game. I think they'll feed Frank Gore the ball a lot this game, but that's about it. I don't think that Frank Gore is going to get to the end zone. He'll get them close enough to win some field goals. His final score probably be something like 18-13. That's what I'm thinking. Saints or the Buccaneers, who you got?
Saints been on the road. I think they continue rolling. Saints looking good this year. But they might be contenders.
Yeah, they dropped 2, won their next 5. I see them winning 6 in a row. It will be a valiant effort from Winston, but Winston and the Buccaneers, like you alluded to earlier, he's banged up. And the Saints at home in that dome, my goodness. So I got I had the Saints beating the Buccaneers. Titans or the Ravens, who you got?
Titans on the Ravens? Oh, that should be Bumbo Part 2. Joe Flacco.
Yeah, really.
Is Marcus playing today? No. Give me the Ravens. I'd take the Ravens. Simply because I think their defense might do something.
All right, I got the Titans for that same reason. Oh, Joe Flacco not playing?
I don't believe so. I think he's inactive today.
Hold on, let me check. Because if he is, I need to start the Titans defense. Let me check this out. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, y'all. Let me see. Ravens. Oh, now I can't find the game. Is it that sorry that it's not even on the list on here? Oh, oops, wrong week. That's why. There we go. Week 9.
No, he's questionable. So
gotcha.
He might play today. I mean, but that was a heck of a hit he took, though.
That's a hell of a hit that he took. Kiko Alonso laid that boy out. All right, so you got the Ravens.
Dirty?
Yeah, it was dirty. We knew what he was doing. He was trying to make sure his offense had a chance to try to get back in the game. It was definitely a dirty hit. He knew what he was doing. Seahawks or the Deadskins. Who we got?
I became more of a humble fan over the years. I try to respect each and every team as a commentator. So I don't refer to you all as the Deadskins. I just refer to you all as the team from Washington because your name is offensive to Indians. But do I have the Redskins on? Nope, they are losing this week. They don't have a line. All their receivers is pretty much hurt. And I still didn't get my answer on Facebook, on the show, at work, wherever I go. I'm asking every Redskins fan, who is your number one receiver? And no one can give me an answer. I think it's Chris Thompson, actually. But
yeah,
Seattle's going to win this week. And I just feel bad for Kirk Cousins. He shouldn't get the blame. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
But give me Seattle.
Okay, cool. All right, so we definitely agree on that. Cardinals or the 49ers. This is another game where who really cares? Who you got?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Not bad.
Now we can hear you.
I got the 49ers. They got to win one. This is my last time picking them. I know I keep coming back like a crackhead. They keep calling me. The Niners keep calling me. If it's going to be any game they're going to win, it has to be this. They have to win this game. If they don't win this game, they're going 0-16 in my book.
No, I'm not going to say that because Jimmy G got to get acclimated to that offense. So give him a couple weeks and he'll get them a victory. But it just won't be today because he's too new to that offense. So I'm taking the Cardinals over the 49ers. We don't even have to say this game, but we already know who we're going to pick, Cowboys or the Chiefs.
How about them Cowboys? Now let's talk about how they're going to win. They got to pound the rock. They have to pound the rock. But don't get me wrong. I mean, I think there's going to be some opportunity, especially for Jason Witten today. But Cowboys going to win. What's the score? What score you got? Go ahead.
I got $27-17.
I got $30-16.
All right. Cool.
Because we like to kick field goals all of a sudden.
So we'll see. Cowboys now, they're starting to capitalize more in the red zone, especially with playing the way that he's been playing. So we should be all right. Raiders or the Dolphins?
Raiders or the Dolphins?
Mm-hmm.
Got beast mode back this year. Dolphins lost their running back for basically nothing. They both playing like garbage right now. Give me the Raiders though.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Raiders as well.
Yeah, I got the Raiders.
Just because I think they're gonna get on a roll and win a couple games in a row this year. So who you and then what? Go ahead.
I said I got them scoring over 30 points a day. I think the offense is gonna click.
All right, and then Lions or the Packers? Who do you have?
Detroit. You know why?
Why?
Shout out to my man out there because he made a good case a couple of weeks ago. But Brett Hundley cannot do it. Brett Hundley will not win.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the case that he made for the Packers that time, and he really had people believing, he could have defended OJ back in the day and got him off the same way Johnny Cochran did.
But nah, though, real talk though, he's a great guy though. He's a great guy. But Brett, I just don't believe Brett Hundley is the answer at all. Matt Stafford continue to keep rolling because he got paid all that money and he got to prove his worth.
Mhm. That's true. $92 million guaranteed. My goodness. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's the pick'em, Sam. You want to go ahead and recap the Too Much Show Fantasy Football League Week 8?
Do I have to? All right, here's the score. First and foremost.
Hold on. We got somebody just called in. Give me 1 second. Hey, caller, how you doing? State your name.
You know who it is. It's your man, D. Jack.
Yeah,
from Washington, D.C.
What's up?
I'm letting y'all know. This is why y'all probably going to have to start a new segment called You Don't Know Jack. I'm telling you, y'all got to give Brett Hundley a chance. He's done his first game. Look at how many people. He threw a couple of interceptions. This is his first game. This is his real test this week. This will be his real test, really. He's had 5 weeks. He's had some time to practice. You know, hey, look, Kirk Cousins throw an interception every fourth quarter, but yet everybody claims he's one of the best quarterbacks out there.
That's true.
I don't think
he's guaranteed an overthrow. I mean,
exactly. I mean, come on now. This dude loses so many games, but yet everybody's talking about he should be picked up on everybody's squad. Everybody would want Kirk Cousins. Come on now. Brett Hundley.
Kirk Cousins don't got
this will be his test. Put it this way. If he doesn't do good this week, I'm going to call back and I will apologize because I'm telling you, this is the week.
Okay.
This is the week I think he's going to show out.
Okay. He feel like 5-6 in a game and a half of work. I mean,
but look what he's coming off of, though. I mean, come on. Y'all can't expect somebody to come in after just a couple of times of playing preseason to all of a sudden be out the box. He ain't that type of quarterback, but he'll be able to produce.
I mean, Dak Prescott was basically Romo was the man.
Dak Prescott was coming in as a rookie off because he had built confidence in himself. He was a rookie. All rookies sitting there saying we got to prove himself. This is an old dude. He's 3 years in. He's been sitting on the bench for 3 years, and all of a sudden he's expected to be. We'll see, but like y'all Dallas Cowboy fans, we'll see what happens when Zeke leaves. Because y'all have no faith in Dak at all either. Because it seems like if y'all think when Ezekiel leaves, hey, season at the end, come on.
No, I don't know.
Y'all scared to let Dak even throw the ball.
I mean, I like Alpha Boys, actually. He can dance between them tackles. He's still going to average 4.5 yards a carry at least.
That's what I'm saying. Alpha Morris is a great running back. So I don't know why everybody starts panicking talking about, Dallas should have made Zach take them 6 games.
No.
Dallas should have said, Zeke, take these 6 games so we can hold it. Alfred will hold it down till you get back.
No. Don't take them 6 games. I'm telling you, D-Jack is more than just him being suspended for 6 games. This is a black man's reputation on the line and a white woman using her privilege to get him in trouble. I'm not going to make this comparison because he died a horrible death from this, but this is the sports version of Emmett Till. It is. And it's so many athletes that we – and it's so many – Go ahead.
If that was just going to say, I understand. Because my thing is, Ezekiel ain't never come out and say nothing yet. Ezekiel ain't come out and say, hey, I'm innocent and all this.
He did say that. He's been saying that since the beginning. He's came out and made statements. And actually, this past Sunday, not this past Sunday, on Friday, when he got the call from his lawyer that he was granted to stay, he said he threw on his sweatshirt, sweatpants, and raced to the to the field, to the stadium. And the first thing, he was met there by reporters, and he said, it feels good. And he said, I'm not an abuser. He said, you can call me anything you want, but I'm not an abuser. I did not do this.
Yeah, I feel y'all on that. You definitely should do that. But I'm gonna tell you this though, he should. I hope he wins this, because I think if the man is innocent, the man is innocent. But I agree with what y'all said earlier in the show. NFL definitely has something on him. To keep pushing like this, somebody got something that they not saying.
Yeah, for them to pursue that hard, I agree.
I mean, but
they should have. If that was the case, they would have been dropped him. Like, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah, but here's the problem, or here's the issue that I have with that. At the end of the day, and Zeke even said this, if they had came out and said, hey, Zeke, we're suspending you 6 games for conduct detrimental to the league, then absolutely, he would have sat out. He would have taken his 6 games at the beginning of the season.
But doesn't that make you think that they got something where they can't say that? Because their lawyers are smart enough that they would have thought that was well, unless they had some physical proof to say we can't say this, because if we say this and then this come out, it's gonna make us look worse than Ray Rice.
Nah, I don't think it's that. You know what I think it is more so? I think it's Zeke and them possibly having something on the NFL. That's why they keep going after him on this. The NFL just doesn't want to look stupid as an organization. They fumbled it so many times.
They already do.
Too late for that. Too late for that.
They already do.
Yeah, I mean, but what they should have done
to say... Look how they handling the situation with the protests. They've already said that they are not the wisest PR people in the world.
No, they're not. And here's the thing. If you take Zeke and you say, look, you're getting a 6-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the league. Zeke appeals that. They'll probably reduce it to 4, and then that's it. You leave it alone. But because it's domestic violence, that's why he keeps pursuing it, because you have enough on him with conduct detrimental to the league. Y'all forget, like I said, over the summertime, he pulled the girl's top down on top of the float. Even though she went and had drinks with him later on and went back to his hotel room, he still committed an act of sexual assault, and it was on camera. He got into a bar fight incident. He got some speeding tickets. So he's done incidents that's detrimental to the league, and you're like, wait a minute, this guy's only been in the league for a year and he's getting into all this trouble. We need to intervene on, he needs an intervention. But domestic violence, Zeke is saying, look, I've done all those things that you all have seen, the bar bills, whatever else, but I'm not an abuser. I did not hit that woman. And at the end of the day, he got to fight for his reputation. We talking about endorsements later on down the line, and we just talking about his overall reputation. He's going to want to have a family. I mean, you don't want your kids looking at you like you a domestic abuser or a rapist or a woman beater or whatever else.
But that's why your man Hundley is fighting for his reputation this week. And that's why he's I'm going to want to hear nothing. I want to hear nothing but praises next week from y'all. I don't want to hear nothing but praises next week from y'all. Where y'all be like, look here, this man put up 4 touchdowns, over 300-plus yards. He might be – D-Jack might know what he's talking about.
Over under 200 yards for him today.
No. It's Monday night is the game.
It's Monday night. Game. Over under 200 yards.
Over 200 yards.
See, if you got to struggle and do that, we already know.
Man, he cannot do it.
Because you got to understand is we do at Green Bay, they do got a decent running back now. So they can't just automatically put everything on his shoulders. So they're going to run Aaron. They're going to run him a lot. So they're going to get a lot on the ground game. So he's not going to throw too much, but what he's going to throw is going to count. He's going to throw a lot of little dump passes, a lot of little cross to slant passes to the slot to Randall Cobb. DeMarco Adams is going to have all, but they're going to have some plays. He's going to throw over 200 yards, but they're going to have a very big running game. It's going to see a different look from Green Bay. I'm telling you, it's going to be a different look. It ain't going to be flood the passes, and little first down runs every now and then. It's going to be first, second down runs, third down passes, stuff like that.
D-Jack, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, I
The
might
way
not score
you
a
were
touchdown.
I was about to say, the way that you are defending him, I'm telling you, DJ, you could have defended OJ back in the day and got him off with these explanations. Okay, I'm sorry.
Glove don't fit.
You must
That's
have
right. Yeah. I mean, I will say
fellas.
Jordy Nelson, huh?
I'm telling you, he's got all the arsenal. I mean, if he fails, it's only because he's not good. He can be the only detriment to himself. You got three top wide receivers and two decent running backs.
Especially in yak yards too. In yak yards, which is very important. If you go dink it and dump it, they need to get yak yards, and they're very
That's
good.
what I'm saying.
At
You've got you put any quarterback in with that lineup, you should be getting over 200 yards and winning games, unless you just sorry. That's what I'm saying. If he don't do it today, yeah, he's just sorry. We need to give it up.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with he's just sorry, and it's just time to get rid of him. But I do have him passing. I do have him for more than 200 yards. I'm not going to lie to you. I do. I got him passing somewhere around 225, maybe 230. But he'll have one touchdown pass because I believe he will fit it into either Martellus Bennett in the red zone, or they'll run a screen for Cobb or Adams, and they'll get into the end zone in the red zone. And he'll throw about 3 picks.
Oh, no. Over
I
200,
agree with the 3 picks.
Over 200, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
No, I got 3 picks.
Put it down. Put it in the book.
All right, we're going to put it in the book. All right, we got you.
Hey, fellas, I appreciate y'all show 100%.
We appreciate you,
I
man.
love what y'all doing. I'm going to let y'all go do it. Sam, all y'all, keep doing it. Love y'all, man. Hey, I'll holler at y'all next week.
All right.
All right, talk to you next week, sir. Thank you.
All right. So we already have our predictions, Sam. We obviously have the Lions. D-Jack got D-Jack has the Packers for over 200 yards.
If he wins, we could give him this segment next week. You don't know Jack if he wins.
Yep, we
will give you your segment next week.
Yep, you got about 5 to 7 minutes next week to talk. Just talk.
I'm not gonna say a word. You got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go back to the recap here. First week, for the first time ever last week, 4 teams, it looks like, with 100 points or more. Best of the worst dropped 113 against myself, who only dropped 83 points. Let's go ahead and recap why I lost this game. Because, of course, usually Christian McCaffrey is always pathetic because they don't know how to use him in Carolina's offense. Also, Dez Bryant was pathetic like he's been all year for fantasy purposes. Well, actually, in the NFL season, he's playing really below standard. He only had 39 yards receiving. Also, Doug Baldwin didn't do anything. Pathetic. But on the other side there, Carson Wentz dropped 20 points. I mean, Andy Dalton did a little bit better. LaShawn McCoy, 23 points, did amazing. And that's how he pretty much won with Kelsey dropping 19 points. Steve, 131. DC hitter, 77. That's the whooping this week. Sorry to say it, brother, man, but you lost 131 to 77. That was pretty ugly there. Because Deshaun Watson, let's talk about it, Mike. 40 points. Woo! I say it again, 40 points. And now he's on IR. That's crazy. And also, I can't even say this man's name. Jay Smith Schuster, that plays for Pittsburgh, had 25 points. I don't know where Steve got him for what waiver wire, but he just came off the bench and dropped 25 points. Did you hear that, Mike? Also, Tyrod Taylor was on the bench. He had 18 points. Didn't even need him. Now let's get to most talented.
Yeah, but hold on.
Huh?
But hold on. But who does Steve have this week? He got Asweiler and Tyrod Taylor. But Tyrod Taylor did drop 30 on Thursday night, so I give him that. But he got Asweiler now, so he won't have the luxury of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's crazy. He dropped 40 on the way out. But let's talk about the only one-loss team in the Fantasy Football League, who's now 7-1. beat CCK, who's now 5-3, one of the top contenders this season. And why did he did it? Because Zeke does what Zeke always do: 25 points, putting up numbers. Tom Brady does. Tom Brady does what he always do: 19 points. I think he was dropping buckets, man. And you had Jones for Detroit. He dropped a solid 12. Vinatieri with 11. And this is why CCK lost for real. When you have a defense like the Raiders who has absolutely 0 points, when you have a defense, I repeat, that has 0 points, you're not going to win too many games. Oakland got to go. If you're listening right now, CCK, Oakland got to go. I mean, his top performer was a New York Jet. That's enough said. Let's go to the next game. Steve Glock, 100 points, beat back that pass up, who's now 5-3, who has recently went on a little slide. I mean, still in playoff contention, but has went into a little slide lately. Team Glock solid, 6-2, doing what they supposed to do. And this is why back that pass up loss, basically. Bye weeks killed them. Todd Gurley was on a bye week, which is basically the top performer for back that pass up. Couldn't overcome Todd Gurley being on that bench. And Cam Newton being inconsistent as usual, only 14 points. And not CCK, Team Glock won because, it was solid effort all around. Gronk had 11 points. The kicker had the most points with 19. Eagles defense held up against San Fran, got 24 points, while back that pass up, Steelers defense only had 8 points. Steelers defense can go. And that's pretty much the recap. And, one more game that stood out. My thing is, if you're going to sign up to the league, please play the whole season. We don't like when people quit in the season. Because when people quit during the season, you get very bad scores. And also, if you're listening right now, Flying Eagles, please change your lineup. Please change your lineup. Because he absolutely had 0 points last week due to a legal lineup. You got disqualified to a team that only had 50 points. So, if you're listening right now, I hope you change your lineup already, Flying Eagles. If not, do so now. And let's just recap this week very quickly before we move on to the next topics real quick. So, we got this week, I'm playing DC hitters. It looks like a pretty competitive game, 50-50 pretty much across the board. We ain't going to go into details. We both ain't in the playoff race. It doesn't matter. So, Steve and Team Glock, this might be game of the week right here, 6-2 and 6-2. And right now, they got off to a fast start. Tyrod Taylor dropped a solid 30 points this week for Steve. Man, Steve might be coach of the year, man. He getting it.
Please don't disrespect me like that. Please don't disrespect me like that. But go ahead.
You didn't make no waiver this year, really.
What are you talking about? I didn't make any waiver. I picked up Allen
Zeke,
Hurns.
I give you this. Zeke is MVP. Zeke is MVP. I give you that.
Zeke is not MVP. If anything, Tom Brady put up more points than Zeke this season.
Oh, my God. Let's recap that at the end of the season. But Team Glock has 20 points so far, but he played 2 players. He had Josh McCown, which is a pretty bold move, and he had a solid 18. And Safarian Jenkins, I see why you tried to trade him for that move earlier this season, because he cannot do it with only 2 points.
That's true. Now, but hold on. Can I just add one more thing? So, like when you was like, "Oh, Steve, he's coach of the year."
I see he's a candidate.
Yeah, but here's what you have to understand. You can't knock me for not having to go to the waiver wire because I drafted the right players. Like, that's the name of the game. You get what I'm saying? If you need to go to the waiver wire every week, what are you doing?
You hustling. You bargaining.
Yeah, well, I don't need to bargain. I don't need to hustle.
You studying.
Yeah, I'm studying too. And I picked up a couple players off the waiver wire, and
I ain't gonna hate. You balling this
I picked
season.
up a couple, but guess what? My core team is still there.
You personally even gave Steve props. And a lot of times he went to the waiver wire because his players keep getting hurt for the season. He had to hustle.
Well, draft the right players. That's all I got to say. All you got to do.
All right, so Skins Fanatic, 5-3. Skins Fanatic, another candidate for Coach of the Year, is playing you this week. He had one player that played, no, it wasn't even a player. The Bills' defense only had 1 point. I think he lost this game already pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, you're looking pretty good. I mean, you got Zeke playing one of the worst defenses in the league this week. You got Jameis projected to get 20 points this week. Hopefully, Demarius does something with Brock.
Yeah.
Also,
Brock probably do something a lot.
Yeah, and I think Cameron Brate might do a little something, and the Seahawks defense should put up numbers. And I see that you got Alpha Morris in there hiding in the cut.
Just okay.
And another game that's an important game. 5-3, best of the worst playing 5-3. Back that pass up. Best of the worst had 2 players play already, and they only had a combined 2 points. LaShawn McCoy and Kelvin Benjamin just got traded fresh right before the game started, pretty much. So, hey. And Todd Gurley is back. Devontae Freeman is back. I expect her to win this week, seriously. And she should have it. And let's get to the playoff standings right now. You are the number 1 seed, most talented right now. If the playoffs happen today, you will be playing Steve first round. And Team Guap is the 2nd seed and back that pass up, drop down to the 3rd seed. So Team Guap and back that pass up when they played each other if the playoffs started today. And teams that are in contention is Best of the Worst is right behind everybody there, as well as CCK and Skins Fanatic, all at 5-3 battling out. And I'm just behind everybody, chilling at 3-5, middle of the pack, because I'm a mediocre type of guy right now. So mad at my team this year. But yeah, that's pretty much the fantasy recap, the fantasy preview. Everything's fantasy. So let's go on to the next topic, brother.
All right, we'll go through this topic quickly so we can get to our wonderful topic at hand. So, World Series, you all. Astros beat the Dodgers in 7 games. They took the Dodgers to 7 games after the Dodgers went on 3-2 on the Astros. They came back to win 2 straight games and beat the Dodgers. And might I mind you, both of those games were in L.A. So, with that being said, did the Dodgers win this series or did the Astros lose it?
You mean did the Astros win or the Dodgers lose it? But
I'm sorry. Yeah, did the Dodgers lose it or did the Astros win this series?
Both. It's really both, because shout out to Houston, by the way, going through Hurricane Harvey and all that stuff. That city deserved to win. And you also seen a team that wanted it more. But honestly, if I want to, yeah, the Dodgers lost it. And this is why the Dodgers lost it. Poor management. Poor bullpen management in particular.
Yep.
Like Clayton Kershaw, you can blame yourself, and I respect you for doing that because you're showing your true leadership. But it's not your fault. First of all, you Darvish, you some garbage, brother.
I'm about to say, you Darvish is you garbage.
Garbage, pretty much. Also, Bellinger can't hit a curveball to save his life all of a sudden. He's like Serrano on Major League. He like Serrano. He can't hit a curveball to save his life out there. And also, you got Yasiel Puig, who can't step up in big moments. I mean, it was an overall bad performance. And then Clayton Kershaw, he tried. He put 4 scoreless innings for you in Game 7. I mean, the bats just didn't come alive. They didn't come alive. And It was just bad bullpen control, and that's why they pretty much lost. But shout out to Verlander. He deserves that. And he started to look like one of the best pitchers of this generation. But I feel bad. I feel bad for Clayton Kershaw because he might be the best pitcher of the generation because he's going to win another Cy Young, ladies and gentlemen. That's 4 already for him. So it's just sad he can't win one. But you know what? I think the Dodgers have a good chance of making it back next season. I think the Dodgers will make it back next season. And hopefully we get our Dodgers-Yankees this time because that's what I wanted in the beginning anyway.
All right. So that's the team who you have with the best shot. And you said the Dodgers lost the series more than the Astros. To me, honestly, I think the Astros won it more. And it goes back to that Yankee series. You got to remember.
Yeah, more effort. They wanted it more.
Yeah, they definitely wanted more. And when we look at how the Yankees fought back to top that series 2-2 and the way that the Astros were able to ultimately take control and win that series. Now, mind you, the Dodgers had basically cakewalks to the World Series. And so the Astros definitely, how can I put it, they spent more energy. They exhausted more energy trying to get to the World Series because it was a tough matchup going against those Yankees, especially with all those bats. But I keep trying to tell you, and I had him on my list last week, and this is why Justin Verlander is number 5 on my list for all-time starting pitchers. He was
but you know what?
He did
lose game 6.
He lost. Well, actually, he didn't lose Game 6 because, remind you, he had almost double-digit strikeouts in that game. It was the bullpen that lost that game for him. He was actually dialed in. It wasn't him. It was the bullpen that lost it for him when they yanked him out of the game. So, to me personally, he didn't lose it. It was the bullpen that lost it more. But, I mean, just Houston scrapping, fighting. They obviously have some good bats that should put the league on notice that this team,
yes.
Yeah, and they're very – here's the thing. We always talk about the Yankees and the Red Sox of having, like, the big home run hitter. People forget that Houston was the number 1 scoring offense in the AL this year. So that team knows how to put points on the board. They know how to steal bases, and they know how to knock in runs. Shout out to Houston. Both teams, to me, have a shot at going back next year. Whenever you have Verlander, you and those bats, you have a chance. I think it's just more standing in the Astros way than it is the Dodgers. Like the Dodgers, I could see them making it back in the same fashion. But with the Astros, they're going to have to go up against, again, Red Sox and Yankees to get back to the World Series. And we don't know if they're going to be able to do that again, because we're talking about a more mature Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez, as well as a Boston Red Sox team who's already good.
But you know the crazy thing about all of this, though? We just had 201 teams play in the World Series. That's amazing.
That's definitely amazing.
But man, shout out to MLB, great playoffs. Shout out to the MLB, great playoffs.
Oh yeah.
It makes me actually look forward to watching baseball in April now. I can't wait till the beginning of next season already. Next season is going to be amazing already.
No, absolutely. This was a great playoff. Honestly, it was a good baseball season because you got to remember, teams like the Yankees who were struggling after the All-Star break. Like, they went marching into the All-Star break like we're the big bad boys of the East.
Yeah.
And then they struggled after the All-Star break, and then about a month before playoffs, they just kick it into overdrive, take the number 1 seed for the wild card, have to win a wild card game, then win a hard-fought series when they were down 0-2 versus who were they against? It's right there. They were
Cleveland? Was it Cleveland?
Yes. Yep, it was Cleveland. Thank you. It was Cleveland, and then going down 0-2 again against the Astros and then fighting. So most definitely, this was a great playoff. This was a great World
And
Series.
that's another thing. Cleveland.
Yeah.
Won 23 straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
It's a great baseball season.
Absolutely. But without further ado, Sam, let me just get it started like this, sir.
We are doer, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now, Buddy Landell, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
That's right, y'all. You heard it first.
Woo!
That's right. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, 30 for 30, airs November 7th on ESPN.
Oh, my God. I can't wait.
I'm so excited. Sam, I'm going to just let you go ahead. I'm going to just let you go ahead and take it away and what you think this is going to, what this documentary is going to be about.
It's going to be about the man, the myth, the legend, pretty much. You talk about a guy who almost didn't even have a wrestling career, Mike. He survived a plane crash early in his career and he broke his neck and his back. And remember, he was more of a heavier guy. He had to slim down, really work out, change his whole persona. So don't get me wrong. The original Nature Boy is Buddy Rogers. If you're a true wrestling fan, you know that. And Ric Flair would say himself, but Jay-Z said it perfect in his rhyme. You made it a hot line, I made it a hot song. And that's exactly what Ric Flair did. He took the Nature Boy persona, the robes got fancier, the watches got brighter, the suits got more expensive, the gators got more expensive.
And the champagne got more expensive.
Oh, man, the limos cost money, the hotel rooms got wrecked, orgies was everywhere with the 4 horsemen, and that's what Ric Flair did. You're going to see a lot about that, but you're going to see a lot of probably about his personal life, too. He did have a major drinking problem for a long time. He might still do. He had a lot of DUIs. He was crazy. But you're going to see how much of an icon he really is. Honestly, I say it here and I say it again, he is the greatest wrestler of all time, bar none. You can give me your Hulk Hogan all day, but Hulk Hogan was good at selling merchandise, and that's all he did. In ring, Ric Flair can go an hour in his sleep. You want to know why? Because in 1992, late in his career, when he went to the WWF as the real champion, still having an NWA belt, he went over an hour in the Royal Rumble to win the WWF championship. And at the time, I want to believe he was one of the first people to ever do that, win the WCW and WWF championship. And also, he's still pretty much kayfabe the record holder of 16, I repeat, 16-time world heavyweight champion. It's amazing, man. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
He influenced, other than Muhammad Ali, he's probably the best trash talker in entertainment history. Still to this day, you have rappers like Pusha T and all that still sampling his interviews till this day. Promos he shot in 1983 to probably 1988. Still to this day be quoted line for line. Mm-hmm. That's how great this man is.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, because I was talking about it with somebody at work, and, like, let's be real, Sam. Wrestling is a soap opera for men. Like, women, they have Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, whatever may have you. That's what wrestling is. It's a soap opera for men. But it's people like Ric Flair that make it that cool where you don't even realize that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, It's a sport of champions. Yeah, that's. Yeah,
I mean, it's a storyline to it. It is. It's
a storyline to it, and I respect each and every wrestler that wants to get in there, trust a stranger with their body, and basically take all the bumps they do for long periods of time. Cause at the end of the day, even though it's choreographed and everything, they're still taking real bumps and real falls and all that stuff, and things can easily go wrong. You've seen it. You've seen it with the Sid Vicious. Boot off the second rope, broke his leg in half. You've seen it with Kurt Angle broke people's ankles and he put them in the ankle lock, and it's crazy. You've seen it with Stone Cold Steve Austin neck. Things can go wrong. So, I mean, I give him so much respect for even going in there and having the courage to entertain these thousands of people with their bodies like this. It's crazy. And Ric Flair is one of the best at doing it. Oh, my God. It wasn't a Ric Flair match at one point unless he bled.
True.
That man bled doing promos. I remember one promo back in 2005 was crazy. He was beefing with Triple H at the time. And Triple H just did a number on him, hit him with the sledgehammer twice, bust his head open. It's crazy. Good rivalry if you want to watch it. But he got mad. He took his, they took his stitches out, literally, during the interview. Was punching his head and was bleeding all over his face. Like, this dude was crazy. But he just had that type of energy in his promos. Like, I remember one time he basically got mad and stripped naked during the promo. It was throwing his, Gucci. He was like, Gucci sandals, $1,500. Threw them in the crowd. A Marty belt, $500. Because I think Scott Steiner, somebody called him broke. He was like, custom. I was like, I don't even know what this is. Custom made suit, $5,000. He threw everything. He was literally in his drawers and socks, and it was like dropping elbows and wooing everywhere. And I'm like, this guy is incredible. Like, this guy is crazy. But that was Ric for you, man. I cannot wait either. I cannot wait either, man. It's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely. But without further ado, your favorite portion of the show, and I'm going to let you take it away because I know you took the time to research this. Top 5 Dead or Alive.
But you know the crazy thing about it?
What's that?
I don't have no notes. I didn't even have to because I watch Ric Flair every day. It got to the house. It got to the point my little girl, 2 years old, she woos with me in the house every once in a while because I randomly do it. Like at work, I just be walking around, woo, and like people just start to woo at work now. Like it's crazy. So top 5 Dead or Alive. We're going to jam it. It's so many. It's so many honorable mentions. There's so many things. This is only the top 5 because personally to me, it entertained me the most. Because I could do top 5 matches. I could do top 5 promos. I could just break it down because it's all about Ric Flair. But I'll give you the top 5 most entertaining moments to me personally. Number 5. This actually happened in TNA. This was more recent. This happened around 2010. Ric Flair was there doing an angle. He was part of the Fortune 4. It was him, Booker T, Kevin Nash, and Sting, I believe. And it was a cat. He's an indie darling now. He should be in the WWE, but he's probably too good for it. But his name is Jay Lethal. Love the brother. Amazing. And he did an imitation of Ric Flair. Sound just like him. And he was like, and they just started wooing each other for like 5 minutes straight. Like, woo, 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 woo. Like for 5 minutes straight. But you got to see it, though, because the brother come out looking just like him and everything and cut a promo about him. Ric Flair's like, you're not the real Nature Boy, and just went in on him. And that's my number 5 moment. Number 4, just because it was just so real at the time, and like the shock factor is crazy even when you watch it today. That's how wrestling should be booked. Remember, Dusty Rhodes at the gas station with the 4 horsemen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. They caught that man slipping. Our Anderson and them, they broke his arm, too. Caught him slipping at the gas station, which was crazy. Number 3, just because at the time it was so shocking, it was once in a lifetime, and just the rumor of the day because it never happened. It was a dream match that never happened, and that's Flair versus Hogan. When Flair went to the WWF as the real champion with the NWA belt, freshly leaving WCW, and Bobby Heenan was his manager, like I just explained, the man went over an hour in the Royal Rumble in 1992 to win the title. And I remember the promo afterwards, which was hilarious. No, it was one of the promos while he had the belt was hilarious. He took the glass of champagne, poured it on his head, and it started tripping in Ric Flair fashion. It was amazing. And I remember Bobby Heenan commentary in particular during the 92 Rumble. Some of the best commentary you ever hear. Oh, my goodness. It was amazing. And I just remember him coming over there, and it was so shocking in the rivalry with Macho Man Randy Savage. But Hulk Hogan ducked him for a reason. Crazy. But number 3, man, this is like, man, it's so many. Let me go back to arguably the greatest match in wrestling history. A great match. 1989 was the setting, and it was in one of the best crowds ever in wrestling history in Chicago, Illinois. 1989 Chi-Town Rumble. Ric Flair versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yes.
When these two got together, classics. To this day, they stand the test of time as all-time great matches. Man, the back and forth in that match, how Ric Flair played the fly heel with the robe, and how Ricky Steamboat come out there as the perfect baby face. Everyone loved Ricky the Dragon. Oh, my God, that was an amazing match. Man, one of the best matches of all time. Number 2, that promo you played in the introduction before the 30 for 30, that is known as the Slick Rick promo. If you would have played that whole promo, he had the ladies going. As soon as he come out there, the ladies be like, Slick Rick, oh, my God, you're killing me, ladies. That is one of the best promos of all time, especially how he called out the quote-unquote other nature boy, Buddy Landell. My man said, I spent more money on spilled liquor on bars across the globe than you made. What? Man, they didn't know what they was talking to. And he had a hard time holding them alligators down. Till this day, that is sampled in music. One of the best promos of all time. And number 1, I couldn't pick one moment. I could just think of this rivalry because it went everywhere. It involved so many people. But at the end of the day, it always came back to these two. And that was Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes. It's definitely a top 5 all-time rivalry in wrestling. I won't give it number 1 because I believe Austin versus McMahon is number 1. But it's up there. It's definitely top 3. No, it's number 2. Dusty versus Ric Flair, the promos, how it trended through pop culture as far as like the Lakers versus the Celtics in the 80s. Dusty was the Celtics fan who was blue-collared, hard-working, just like the Celtics were there. Ric Flair was Showtime, just like the Lakers. Everything was custom-made. Everything was magic. The coats had to be mink. The shoes had to be alligator. The suits had to be made custom. The hair had to be on point. The shades had to be on point. I mean, the watch had to be Rolex. And that's what it was over there in Showtime LA. And that rivalry played that out perfect. They turned the little territory at Jim Crockett Promotions in North Carolina to a national powerhouse pretty much. Ric Flair won his first ever NWA World title from the great Dusty Rhodes. That's one of the greatest starcades of all time. The main event was Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair. The 86 Great American Bash was arguably the greatest Great American Bash of all time. was Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes. I mean, it was the greatest. It's one of the greatest rivalries of all time. So that's number one on my list, Mike. I'll let you take it away.
All right. So there you go, showing me up, doing all of that from your memory. It's like, nah, it shows how much, man, you love Rick. I know you're excited for the 30 for 30, and I can't wait for it as well. So number 5, and mine's, man, I mixed up a little bit of the old with the new as well. A lot of people, again, if it was late 80s, early 90s, that's when you got some of Flair's best moments. But he still gave you good moments even after being with the WWE. So number 5, his cage match with Randy Orton in 2004, that was a hell of a match.
Oh, man, talk about it. He had a good run. Before he retired, Oh, my God, him and Shawn Michaels, that retirement match. But anyway, keep going. I'll let you finish.
Man,
my bad.
You just gave away my number 4. But, yeah, number 5, cage match with Randy Orton. Hellacious cage match. Randy Orton was one of Ric Flair's proteges, and they ended up duking it out in that cage match. Flair left a bloody mess. Randy Orton was busted open, and they actually, at the end of the match, they actually ended up, holding up each other's arms. I'm not sure. I forgot. Who won that match, Sam?
What, between Orton and Flair?
Yeah.
Man, I want to say Orton, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say Orton won that joint. Because that's where Orton was the legend killer.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, then I don't want to say Triple H did something, too. And I think that's how Triple H and Flair got started, something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm. Number 4 is his retirement match at WrestleMania 24. Against no other than the HBK, Shawn Michaels. That was a hell of a match. Another classic Ric Flair match.
That might be the greatest WrestleMania match. It's definitely top. It's definitely top 3. It's up there.
Nah, it definitely is. And then number 3, it's a 2-way. So he won the NWA title from Ricky Steamboat. And mind you, him and Ricky Steamboat fought 3 times that year. And that caused for Terry Funk to come out of retirement. And Ric Flair actually ended up breaking his neck in the match with Terry Funk. You remember that?
Power driver through the table. Yes, I do remember that. Because it led to that famous, I'll let you say it.
No, go ahead.
And it led to that famous I Quit match.
Mm-hmm.
And he made the hardcore legend say I quit. That never happened.
Yep. Nah, he came back and reclaimed that title. So shout out to Flair for that. And then you touched on it in yours. Flair winning the Royal Rumble and the title. He entered into that Royal Rumble, you all, at number 3. And so for him to have stand an hour with how many minutes? It is 30 men that coming in for the Royal Rumble. So for him to withstand that and win the title after leaving WCW and coming over there, I mean, that was remarkable. And they was actually, like you touched on, they were going to do a unification match with WCW and WWF. But of course, Ted Turner got in the way after he had fired Flair. He was a little bitter. And then number 1, Halloween Havoc, 1995. Ric Flair turned on Sting again for the second time in their careers together and formed the Four Horsemen again. I mean, and reunited the Four Horsemen again.
Nah, but you know what's funny about it? Because it's like Sting was the ultimate go-to guy. Everyone turned on Sting.
Yeah.
I mean, when Lex Luger turned on Sting to join the Four Horsemen. Oh, my God. Everybody turned on Sting. Like, yeah, I'm about to say, did Hulk Hogan turn on Sting to join the NWO?
Yeah, he turned on Sting to join the NWO. He sure did.
Crazy. Sting and Macho Man.
Yep. So that's my top 5 Ric Flair moments.
And it's so many more, too. It's like...
Oh, yeah.
Whatever moment you say could be a top 5 moment. It's so many. It really is.
It is. That man's career, I mean, just from start to finish, he never really had any dry spots in his career. He was truly great.
Yeah, he was. I mean, the only thing you could say a dry spot in his career was late 90s, but that was just a dry spot at WCW because, I mean, it was everybody was part of the NWO. I mean, what can you do? If you weren't part of the NWO, you wasn't going to get over. But
yeah,
he still was standing and had legendary moments, like I explained. The dude was going crazy in his promos around that time.
Mm-hmm.
He was throwing Gucci sandals in the crowd. And it was every weekend one time. Like,
he didn't care. You did not care. Ric Flair was the man.
he was the man. He'd go in that joint drunk.
And then look.
Promo.
Yeah, then we ain't even talk about Space Mountain, but we got to get to these other topics because if we talk about Space Mountain, that'll be the rest of the show.
Oh my gosh! Especially when he said the baby doll. Last time with me, I was like, whoo, and it fell out. Oh my God, he's stupid. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So Stephen A. Smith, you all recently on his show said that NBA players wearing hoodies on the bench during NBA games remind white people of Trayvon Martin. This is again another reason why I boycott ESPN. Boycott First Take, Sports Center. I know what you all are saying. Oh, but you about to watch the 30 for 30 on Tuesday. You're right, and I'm doing it for Rick. I'm going to record it, and it will be for Rick. But as far as getting fantasy advice, looking at recaps of highlights, whatever else may have you, I refuse to watch ESPN because, again, they only give their black or people of color, they only give them, they only allow them to say but so much. You know, I'm very deeply disappointed in Stephen A. Smith's comments. Anybody who's coming to a basketball game, I'm sorry, I don't think Trayvon Martin is on their mind. And by you making that comment, now you are bringing up old feelings. I mean, we're talking about a family that lost their 17-year-old son due to him being racially profiled based on the way that he's dressed. And Sam, I know you touched on it this week when we were on the phone. But yeah, the players, the reason why they're wearing the hoodies is because when Melo over the summer was in his game, he was killing as he was wearing a hoodie. So it was hoodie Melo. So Nike, it's a possibility that they did that because Carmelo Anthony started that trend. But again, I'm disappointed in Stephen A. Smith's comments. I told you I was disappointed in Jamel Hill's comments when she came up on there. Well, you know what? I feel like, I deserve that suspension. Jamel Hill, I believe they put her in a sunken place while she was on suspension. They put Stephen A. in the sunken place. And I'm sorry. Like, I don't even enjoy listening to him because most of his interviews now is just him yelling. That's it. It's ABM, Angry Black Man, yelling about whatever issue is going on. And it's gotten to the point I don't even like listening to him. But go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, it got very hard to listen to Stephen A. Smith because it's almost like he's not humble when it comes to other people's opinion. Like, his word is Bible. You know what I mean? But enough of that. Like, I'm with you. I haven't completely boycotted ESPN. I still watch PTI. That's the only show I will watch on there. PTI and Around the Horn. I like them two shows. I always follow them. I followed them two shows since day one when Max Kellerman hosted Around the Horn. And I've always been a huge advocate and fan of Michael Wilbon. And shout out to Michael Wilbon for not backing down for all his comments and things he say. He tell it how it is, and he doesn't back down from it, no matter the consequence. So shout out to Michael Wilbon over there. He's probably one of the few surviving that's not in the sunken place over there. But just to let you know, Kevin Spacey, you're not safe. We might get to you next week because I have a lot to say on this. Stephen A. Smith, what you said was garbage, and you continue to go by the trend, what people are actually saying about you. You are the angry black man. You are falling off. You are in the quote unquote sucking place. You are quote unquote Uncle Tom. Like, you completely say things that is pro company but anti you. Anti where you from. You're a brother from Hollis, Queens, and you shout it out all day. I don't think nobody from the block really wants to agree with what you said. And my thing is, if a white person come in there and see NBA player with a hoodie and think, ooh, that's Trayvon Martin, then that white person needs to get themselves together and get themselves right. Because I think no one agrees with this, black or white. No one agrees with this. We don't agree with it as black people because, like you said, Mike, it brings up old feelings. Yeah. And that was a 17-year-old boy being murdered other than $1 million NBA player sitting on a bench trying to cool down to entertain you all. Instead of wearing a towel, he's wearing a hoodie. Boom. That's why they wear it, idiot. And also, to get to, on the white people's side, I mean, they just want to watch a game just like any other paying customer. They want to drink beer, they want to eat some pretzels, eat some overpriced pizza from Papa John's, and they want to sit down and enjoy the game. They're not thinking about Trayvon Martin when they see a guy in the hoodie. They're just thinking about somebody on the bench warming up till they get called back in. But to get more to the story, Mike, he specifically said that about J.R. Smith wearing a hoodie in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So the quote-unquote what Stephen A. Smith said in general, so you get the gist of it, is in Game 1 when they played against Boston, because that was the first game of the season, J.R. Smith was sitting on the bench in the fourth quarter with a hoodie on. I don't know why the hell, you know how he said, Nike made these damn uniforms that have hoods attached to it, by the way. You got a lot of these white folks in the audience that's going to think Trayvon Martin is being revisited, and I'm not joking about it. The bench is no place for someone to be wearing hoodies. What is there? Like, we already changed the culture of the NBA from you can't be comfortable when you're injured now that you have to wear a three-piece suit when you're on the bench now. You can't wear jeans and a T-shirt like AI and them used to do and just be comfortable on the bench. So now we can't even wear hoodies on there. But let me tell you what J.R. Smith said about it in particular. He said, the man is always reaching. What does me wearing my hoodie on the bench have anything to do with reminding white people of hashtag Trayvon? And he said, 1, they shouldn't forget about him. And 2, how does me, out of all 450-plus NBA players, like seriously, keep my name out your mouth, Stephen A. Smith. You want to talk about me not playing, that's fine. But don't try and put me in something that has nothing to do with it. I'm not the only one. And then he said the show's been trashed and Skip left anyway. And I pretty much agree with all of that. Yeah, he basically said they should remember Trayvon Martin for the simple fact that a tragedy happened. And he said, I always wore a hoodie. He said he used to wear a hoodie in New York, which is true. He used to wear a hoodie on the bench in New York. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this is ridiculous, but that just further proves to you that people are just too pro-company and less self-efficient these days in the media and everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And I retract my statement about the NFL being a PR nightmare. No, the national public media as a whole isn't a PR nightmare right now. From CNN getting called out by the celebrity in chief, as you like to call them, being fake media, until you got now ESPN going through all this controversy with Stephen A. Smith, and you got Fox Sports over there with Jason Whitlock saying ridiculous things once a month. Everyone is in a PR nightmare right now. Yeah.
No, I mean it's true. We got about 5 minutes left in the show, so I guess we could spend. No, this needs more attention. We do because
Stephen A. Smith actually responded. It's more tweets. He actually responded. He said, saw what you said, Gerald Smith. Wasn't talking about you when I went at the hoodies. Was talking of Nike and how I don't believe in hoodies. But, when they showed the little replay when he was talking about it, Gerald Smith was sitting on the bench with a hoodie on, but okay. And he said it shouldn't be a part of the basketball uniform, that's all. I won't respond to anything else Gerald Smith got to say because I get to see if you ball that. And then he put ball in capital letters. Then he said, it's what matters. You ain't playing in the garage by yourself. You can be the difference. We'll see what you can do, period.
Yeah, see, again, he still failed to, even if he doesn't, what is the deal with not liking Nike for putting hoods on? Sam, we see it time and time again in football games, whether they're in a dome or they are outside, and we see it in basketball games. Everybody knows when you go to the bench from playing, you need to be warm. You can't keep letting your body go from being hot to being cold, from being hot to being cold. That's bad. That's bad, number one, for injuries. And then number two, that's bad for your health as far as you getting sick and coming down with some type of sickness. So with people, it's a lot of people that jog in that early spring or late fall. And what do? They have hoods on. Why? Because it helps you break a sweat and it keeps your body heat in.
Yeah, but basically, he just retracted his statement anyway, because at the end of the day, he says, and by the way, I shouldn't even get on Nike because, A, don't even know if they designed it, and B, the hoodie could look fly another inches. So he basically kind of retracted at the end of the day. So, boo.
Exactly. I'm not even going to waste my time. Kevin Spacey, Peyton Manning, you perverts, we will get to you next week.
Yes, we will. You not safe.
Yeah, you're not safe. And Kevin Spacey, I'm definitely getting on you for you trying to use the whole gay factor and try to rely on the LGBT community to come to your rescue, because that has nothing to do with you molesting a young boy. I don't care if you figured out that you were gay or not. That's no excuse to prey on someone who's younger than you and try to take advantage. And we'll get to this Cardi B and Nicki Minaj motorsports situation as well next week. So we want to first of all thank D-Jack for calling in. D-Jack, again, if you are correct, you will have your own segment next week for about 5 minutes.
Jack.
Yep, you don't know Jack. So you will have that if the Green Bay Packers end up winning the game Monday night. And we want to appreciate all of our listeners, all of our followers. Sam, you got anything?
No, I just wanted to say if the Packers lose, we're still going to have a segment called You Don't Know Jack, but it will be a little bit different.
Yeah. All right, that's right. I'm your host, MT, signing off, and with me is my co-host,
Mr. Jones, a.k.a. Sam Jones, and Mr. Come First Kids. You got to respect me, and remember, Tuesday, woo! Ric Flair 20 for 20, or 30 for 30, right. Or 60 for 60. Doesn't even matter.
All right, thank you all. Enjoy your Sunday and enjoy some football.
Yeah, good luck with the pick'ems and fantasy football. Peace.
Daddy, where do babies come from?
Honey?
Mommy went to the store.
Oh, well, you see, there's a mommy and a daddy, right?
Right.
And see, when they call Geico, they could save a bunch of money on car insurance.
Oh, really? And that makes them happy?
Yes, that makes them very happy.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we could have this talk, Sunshine.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Support for this podcast comes from United Healthcare, offering small businesses competitive rates, value-added features for employees, and dedicated service in Philadelphia. Start getting more for your healthcare dollars. Visit uhc.com/PA Get More.